In today's video, I'm going to show you how to use 3 powerful apps inside Setapp to boost your productivity. What's up, you guys? My name's Ashley, and if you've ever felt scattered, overwhelmed, or like you're wasting time bouncing between different tools, then this beginner tutorial is for you. We're going to look at 3 specific apps: Session, ByDesign, and Workspaces. These are some of my favorites because they cover 3 areas most entrepreneurs struggle with: staying focused, intentional, and organized. By the end of this video, you'll not only know what these apps are, but also how to use them to get more done in less time. Before we dive into the apps, let's quickly talk about what Setapp is. So, all 3 of the apps that I'm going to talk about are from Setapp. But before we dive into the actual apps, let's quickly talk about what Setapp actually is. Setapp is a subscription service for Mac and iPhone that gives you access to a huge library of apps under one monthly price. So, instead of paying for each app separately, you pay once and unlock everything. Right now, there are over 200 apps in the library, and they cover categories like productivity, writing, project management, and so much more. For entrepreneurs, this means you don't have to keep paying for multiple subscriptions. If you want a focus app, an organizational tool, you don't have to go out and buy them one by one. You can download them directly from Setapp and start using them right away. So before we dive into the 3 separate apps, I'm going to show you what Setapp actually looks like. So if you want to get started, we do have a link down below. But once you download Setapp, like I said, it gives you access to over 200 apps, and you pay a monthly fee, or you can pay yearly as well to save 10%. But there's so much in here. And these are the apps that I use, and I use these every single day. So another cool part is they have collections, so you can look at Setapp Starter Kit. They've got AI Toolkit, Digital Security Toolkit, Developers Toolkit, and even Designers Toolkit. So there's so many apps in here. You also can just go into all apps if you want work related, if you want to optimize, if you want to solve with AI. There is so much in here. It's honestly insane. The first app I want to talk about is called Workspaces. Let's open her up. I know this looks really small and weird, but it's so powerful. Workspaces is an app that lets you create dedicated setups for your projects. You can group files, apps, and websites together and then open them all at once with a single click. This is really important because one of the biggest time wasters for entrepreneurs, or anyone honestly, is switching between projects. You might spend 5 or 10 minutes just opening the right tabs, finding the right files, or starting the right apps. Over the course of a week, that adds up to hours of wasted time. Workspace eliminates that by letting you set up everything once and reopen it instantly. What it looks like is we're going to go into the editing tab. So let's just say you have kind of different areas. So for me, I've got to edit content. I have client check-ins, new client onboarding, see-through recording, see-through scripting, right? And I can even add another one of maybe it's just podcast. So when I edit my podcast, I need a specific folder. So I can just click and drag my podcast folder over. Then I'll need Final Cut Pro. So I'll have that right here, and then I can drop an app. So I will just search it. I can just search it right here and drag it over. Then I'll need Notion. So I'll do another application. So we'll open up we'll drag that over. Okay, so it's really, really powerful because instead of every single time I go to edit my podcast, I'm like, okay, I gotta open this file, I gotta open Final Cut, I gotta open Notion. So now, just as a side note, you can choose to launch manually, on start, on finish, or immediately. Now that we've got that workspace created, I can just click this and it's going to open all of those files, those websites, the folder, anything that I need, it automatically opens. So as you can see, everything is opening. So as you can see, it's very, very powerful. It's an app that could be really overlooked, but it's very helpful and allows you to just open everything up in a timely manner. Just as a beginner tip, you can even create a separate workspace for each client or business area. So this is going to help keep boundaries clear and reduce the mental clutter of switching between unrelated tasks. Now, the next app we're going to talk about is called Session. So we'll go here. I'm actually currently using it right this second, but it is right here. Session. So Session is actually a focus timer app built around the Pomodoro technique. It helps you work in short, structured intervals with planned breaks so you can maintain energy throughout the day. This is really important because most entrepreneurs especially, but anyone in the working world, especially who work on their computer, struggle either with distraction or burnout. They either jump between tasks without finishing anything, or they sit for hours without breaks and end up drained. Session solves both problems by giving you a framework to help you stay focused and pace yourself. To use it, you create categories, and within categories, you create intentions. So I have a bunch of categories in here. I've got education, client work, marketing, C3 media, my podcast, right? And within each of that, we have actual intentions, right? So it's not just in general, I'm working on C3 media, or in general, I'm working on my podcast. I'm specifically editing my podcast, or I'm specifically, creating a thumbnail for my podcast, right? So the power of it is you can be so intentional with your time. And again, in the working world, there's so many distractions, right? What's been really beneficial for me is that I actually have to set an intention. I'm not just on my computer going back and forth between different things. I also time block, which is really helpful for me. So I time block ahead of time, and then I can even compare, wow, did I actually do everything in the same time I wanted to? They also have a lot of analytics, which is really powerful because maybe you see that you're working a really long time on making podcast thumbnails. Maybe now it's time to actually outsource that because you can see, oh my gosh, I'm spending hours on this. This is not something that I actually need to do to move the business forward. It's something that I can actually outsource. So again, it just gives you so much information, which is so powerful. As a beginner tip, start with 2 or 3 focus sessions a day instead of trying to do 10 at once. The key is to build the habit gradually. The last app I want to talk about is called ByDesign. This is where you can manage tasks, goals, and life in all in one place. ByDesign is an all-in-one productivity app inside Setapp that actually helps you manage tasks, takes notes, habits, and even manage your calendar all in one place. It combines everything into a single dashboard so you can focus, stay organized, and track progress without bouncing between multiple apps. This is really important because a lot of entrepreneurs or anyone in the business world really lose time because their notes are in one app, tasks are in another, and their calendar is separate. ByDesign solves that problem by consolidating everything into one intuitive space. So this is the homepage. So as you can see, you've got tasks here, you've got your calendar here, you've got overdue tasks, you've got tomorrow tasks, and then you've got someday tasks. You even have all of your habits in here. So you can look at everything at a glance. I am obsessed with time blocking. Like I said, that's why I use Session. But as you can see, I've got everything that I need right here. I've got my habits all right here. If I wanted to drag this task right here, I can click done right on here. Again, if I want to create a new task, I can just double click. I will, make it a task. I'll click save. Maybe I want it right here. So again, it's everything in one spot, which makes it so much easier to actually see what your week looks like, how much time it's going to take you to get everything done to ensure you actually have the time to get the things done that you need to. It's so powerful. I also love the habits too, because just taking care of yourself is really important. And so having those habits directly in here can also be really, really beneficial to make sure you're not only taking care of your career and your work stuff, but also your physical and mental health. Another add-on that they have is, it's kind of like Notion if you're familiar with it, but you can create a new folder, and then within the folder, maybe this is like team meeting notes, right? And then within here, we'll have this page. This will be, this is where you can insert any tasks, any overviews, whatever it may be. So it's just really cool to have everything in one. They also do have some templates in here as well. So if they have a goal tracker, personal growth plan, a career plan, scholarship applications, right? They have a bunch of different templates in here that can be really, really helpful. So one other thing I just wanted to mention is I really like the someday tasks, right? Because so often we're juggling so many different things. And if something pops in our head that we're like, oh, we want to get this done, it doesn't have to happen ASAP. A lot of times there's not a place to put that unless we have a random, note in our notes app on our phone or something like this. But having someday tasks where it's like, okay, this needs to get done, but it's not urgent, allows you to kind of like get everything out of your brain and get it in a spot spot where you know you can easily look back to so it doesn't get forgotten. So these are kind of my favorite ways to use ByDesign. As just a beginner tip, I would definitely keep your setup very simple at first. Start by adding maybe just your top 3 priorities each day, and then time block your day or time block those into your day. Over time, you can layer in habits, recurring goals, or shared tasks with your team once you feel comfortable. Okay, so now let's talk about how these apps work really well together. The real magic is not just in using these apps individually, but how they complement each other. You can start your day by opening a workspace that launches everything you need for a specific project. And then once you're set up, you can use Session to structure your time and stay focused. And again, maybe you have that as something that opens up every single day in your workspace. This is how productivity compounds when you use the right tools together. Now, let's talk about what Setapp actually costs, because like I said, they have over 200 apps in there and it's a subscription-based model. So if you use our exclusive link in the description below, you actually can get access to a 7-day free trial. Now, with the pricing, honestly, with each app individually, that would probably come out to $30, $40 a month. With Setapp, it's all included. So they've got the Mac plan, which is just $9.99 per month, or you can save 10% annually and it comes to $8.99. This is just on your Mac. And then we've got Mac and iOS. So this is $12.49 per month, and this is for 1 Mac and 4 iOS devices. So for me, I use it on my Mac, and then I also use it on my iPad and my iPhone. So this is the plan that I currently use, so I can have it on each of those devices. Then they've got the Power User, which is for 4 Macs and 4 iOS devices. So again, choose the plan that works for you. Even if you just wanted to, this is exactly what I did. I started with just the Mac plan, and then later on realized I wanted those on my phone and on my iPad, so I upgraded to the Mac plus iOS, which was literally like $2 more. So I am a huge advocate for Setapp. I think it's so powerful and it's so fun that you can just go and find so many different apps that you could use. I love optimizing my workflow with whatever I'm doing, so it makes it really fun to be able to try and test out different apps. Overall, if you're struggling with focus, overwhelmed by subscriptions, or tired of juggling multiple apps, Setapp can simplify everything. Session and ByDesign help you structure your day, and Workspaces helps you organize your projects in one click. Together, they cover so many important parts of running a business and honestly running your life. As a side note, I know how hard it can feel to manage your time and stay productive when you have so many things and family and life going on, and you want to be productive as possible. The truth is, you don't need dozens of subscriptions, you just need the right ones. If you want to check out Session, ByDesign, and Workspace, don't forget to use our exclusive link to check out Setapp for yourself. I do want to mention that these are affiliate links, which means we may earn a small commission at no extra cost to you. So if you do choose to use our links, we just want to thank you so much in advance for your support. It really helps us to continue to create free content and tutorials just like this. This channel is dedicated to helping entrepreneurs and small business owners find smarter ways to grow online. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel and leave any comments or questions below. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.